you switch it over to velocity because they highlighted 3 separate areas of possible circulation. 1, 2, and then a third one right over Bardstown. That one over Bardstown is pretty broad. I think the strongest signature of possibly seeing a tornado is right here. It's moving just to the north of Rahway, east of New Haven. So New Haven, you are now in the clear of this potential tornado. We have been keeping our eyes on the chat with the National Weather Service. It looks like it has not been confirmed. There has not been a sighting, but this possible storm could be producing a tornado. So Springfield, I want you guys to go ahead and head into your safe place. Go ahead and head into the basement. Bring pillows, bring your pets, maybe even the bathroom. Just try to protect as many walls from the outside where you are. So this is where that possible potential tornado is right now, heading to the northeast at 35-40 miles per hour. So it is slowing down. It is a slow mover, and it will continue to head to the northeast. So let's go ahead and put a track. If we could just do a track on this whole widespread, because if we happen to see that one recirculate, I also want to make sure those communities are aware that we could possibly be seeing rotation of not only over Rahway, but also Bardstown right now. So we're going to go ahead and put a track on that system. Again, if you're tuning in from Jefferson County, Shepherdsville, you are not in the path of this potential tornado. This is really just an effect for areas of Springfield, Lebanon, Nelson County, and that'll continue to head off to the northeast. So we're going to go ahead and put a track on this system, moving to the northeast right around 30 to 35 miles per hour. This is producing heavy downpours. So I just want you to go ahead and head into your safe place and to just not head outside right now and to call your friends. Let them know that they are under a tornado warning right now that's in effect until 8:45, I believe. All right, so thank you, Sam. He put a track on this storm. That'll be continuing to move to the northeast. So these are the communities that are in the path of some potential tornadoes. And I said plural because this line could actually be producing a few different areas of circulation. The first one right here over in Bardstown, heading towards Willisburg. Willisburg, that timing for you is at 8:43. The time right now is 8:28. So you have some time to head into your safe place. It's moving right around 35-40 miles per hour, so down to Newmarket. Also could be potentially seeing a spin-up tornado. So Lebanon, you need to get into your safe place. These are the 2 communities that I'm concerned about the most right now, because that is heading your way here over the next 5 to 10 minutes. And then once it heads farther off to the northeast, then it'll be heading east of Springfield and then areas north of or south of Lexington out of our area. So we're going to go ahead and continue to track the storm early this morning. A tornado warning is in effect for Lebanon, Springfield. Oh, okay. We just had a new tornado warning issue. Now we're tracking 2 tornado warnings right now. This one, what we were talking about, how we could have potentially seen numerous couplets or areas of rotation is what we call it. Now the one over Bardstown is under a tornado warning. Bardstown, heads up, just head into your safe place. We are potentially seeing a tornado right over you right now. So this line is showing signs of strengthening. We could be seeing multiple tornadoes out there. None of this has been confirmed, but Sam, what is the latest information on this tornado warning? I'm going to step off and let Sam.
The latest information on this warning, it's moving northeast at 55 miles an hour. It's radar indicated again, so that means that there's not a confirmed tornado on the ground. Nobody's seen one, but you still need to be treating it like a tornado warning. Spencer County, southeastern Spencer County, northeastern Nelson County, southwestern Anderson County, and northern Washington County. If you live in those areas, you need to be seeking shelter right now, getting to the lowest level of your home. Flying debris is going to be dangerous for those caught around the tornado. Mobile homes will be damaged and destroyed. We're talking about damage to roofs, windows, vehicles, and tree damage is going to be likely as well. The main area of concern for this tornado warning is basically over Bardstown right now and points just to the east of there. Let's get kind of a quick little velocity scan on where that area of rotation is, and it's looking likely it's probably right over Bardstown as we speak. So if you actually live in the city of Bardstown right now, this tornado warned storm is actually trekking its way to the east to northeast rather quickly, around 50 miles an hour or so. It'll eventually make its way towards Willisburg, just south of Bloomfield, mainly along Kentucky Highway 55 and south of it looks like Highway 162 this this morning. So this storm will be very significant as it is a tornado warned storm, and it's something that we are watching very closely through the course of this morning. Again, here's the reflectivity with it, and the area of concern, the main area of concern where we could be dealing with that tornado is just to the east of Bardstown, as the storm is making its way to the east-northeast, right around 50 to 60 miles an hour. And it is a tornado warning going until about 9 a.m. this morning. Looks like Washington County is issued in it, Nelson County, Spencer County, and Anderson counties as well. Just to the northwest of Harrodsburg, and it'll eventually make its way along U.S. Highway 127 well off to the east over the course of the morning, and just south of U.S. Highway 62 through the course of the morning as well. So, Colleen, this is something very significant, and everybody needs to be seeking shelter during this tornado warning that is in effect for the Bardstown area.
Yeah, let's go ahead and re-loop down to the wider view of the radar. Let's show you where the active warnings are in effect. So right now, over Jefferson County, not tracking a tornado warning, we are tracking 2 just to the southeast. So heads up, if you live in Bullitt County, if you live in Nelson County and those communities just the east of Bardstown, we are tracking 2 tornado warnings now that are in effect here for the next 30 minutes. So the line of strong to severe storms, the rest not looking like it's producing circulation, but these 2 areas are possibly producing tornadoes. So let's go ahead and walk you tornado warning by tornado warning. Let's go ahead and go to the south one first, Sam. Take a closer look at this tornado warning that is just over Lebanon. If we could pause that radar and see where the rotation is showing right now. So Springfield, Lebanon, you need to get into your safe place. That possible rotation is heading your way right here. This is pretty broad. I do have to say it doesn't look like if it was producing a tornado, it doesn't appear that it would be a strong one. So there is good news, but it only takes one strong gust to knock down a tree, and then that could potentially fall on your house. So I just want to say we have to take these tornado warnings seriously. So I want you to go ahead and head into your safe place. Springfield, that rotation is just knocking on your front door here over the next 5 minutes. If we can go ahead, Sam, while you have that circled, or if you could just go ahead and switch over to the debris tracker. Let's see if it is possibly picking up any debris on the radar. That'll just help us get more of a sense of relief if we could possibly be seeing any damage out there. So this is good news. We are not seeing any debris being picked up on the radar. If we would, where that rotation is, we would see a bright yellow color that indicates debris being thrown in the air. So this is a good sign. This is what we want to see when we have a tornado warning in effect. So Springfield, you can take a deep breath. We're not seeing any debris being picked up on the radar, but it only takes 60 seconds for that tornado warning to drop, and produce damage. So as of now, it is not confirmed, but we are under a tornado warning. I'm curious if they're going to extend it or let it expire, because Springfield, you're just on the edge. But you see that kind of kink right there? That could be showing signs of possible strengthening with that wind really starting to circulate right into that storm. So Springfield, head into your safe place. All right, Sam, let's go ahead and go to the second tornado warning. Bardstown, it looks like you are in the clear. That storm is off to the off to the east of you. So Bardstown, downtown Bardstown, it looks that potential tornado is now centered south of Bloomfield. On the reflectivity, it kind of looks messy, but if we happen to see anything, it would be right here, right to the south of Bloomfield. So Sam, if you could please switch it over to velocity to see what the latest scan is. So it's pretty broad, but if we happen to have a tornado out there, it's not confirmed, radar indicated, it would be right here. Also some lightning with it as well, that really when lightning happens and there's a tornado, we're able to see it through the rain. But as of right now, reflectivity, it looks pretty broad. So it is pretty weak if we happen to see something. And correlation coefficient, the debris tracker, not showing any signs of damage out there. So again, not showing like it's producing any damage, but again, we are taking this seriously. A tornado warning is in effect for south of Bloomfield. Bardstown, it looks like you are in the clear even though you're still in this warning box. It looks like that potential tornado is just off to the east, and that'll continue to move to the northeast. So if you live north of Williamsburg, definitely find your safe place. It looks like Williamsburg still needs to find their safe place, and in fact, these storms are going to continue to track to the northeast. So this isn't the only spot that could potentially see a tornado spin up. This whole line of strong to severe storms are starting to strengthen as we get past sunrise, as we get that sun. That provides the fuel to these storms. So Sam, I think, why don't we just go ahead and take a wide view and pause the radar and just put a track on both of them together, since they're kind of moving at the same pace. They're almost in the same location, just so we can track both of them at the same time, because it's expected to exit our area here shortly, if we could do that. But yeah, we are also tracking these strong to severe storms moving off to the northeast here, right around 35, 40 miles per hour. So it did slow down. And when lines typically slow down, it gives it that opportunity to strengthen. So we are tracking these heavy downpours. Campbellsville, you are not in the path of a potential tornado, but you are still having some heavy downpours. All right, so this is the possible path heading to the northeast of that possible tornado. Looks like it's about to head out of that warning zone. Sam, if we can get a little bit of a closer view of just those two warnings there, please. Okay, so it looks like Rhinetown. There you go. I just wanted to make sure it popped up. That city, that's in the direct path. Rhinetown. You are just on the outskirt of that tornado warning. I want you to go ahead and head into your safe place. A potential rotation is heading your way that could produce damage. So please head into your safe place, maybe a bathroom, down towards a basement. That will continue to track to the northeast. So even though this is out of our area, if you have any family members that live in these communities, give them a call, tell them you have some strong storms heading your way, and it's just a good idea to not head out on the road. So this one to the north, just off to the east of Bardstown, that's our second possible tornado. Sam, if we could put a track on the one right here that's moving off to the northeast. So this is soon going to leave our area, and then we'll return you back to regular scheduled programming, because I know a lot of people want to be watching what they usually watch in the morning. Trust me, I understand. We are wanting to make sure you guys stay safe. That's our #1 priority here. So Williamsburg, you are in the path of this potential tornado. So Hodgenville, Bardstown, E-Town, you guys are in the clear, right? This line of storms is off to your east. So if you live in Williamsburg, again, Lexington, Nicholasville, if you commute east on 64 to Lexington and you're heading out in Jefferson County right now, you are going to come across these storms. So I would maybe delay your time, have multiple ways to receive alerts, download our app so you're able to watch us track these tornadoes here live for you, potential tornadoes, I should say. Nothing has been confirmed, but I'm going to go ahead and step off and go ahead and let Sam take over for a second while I update myself with the National Weather Service.
Yeah, let me just mention a couple of reports that we've gotten so far. There's been some extreme flooding actually down in Warren County so far. There's also been a report of a tree down across southern Kentuckiana. Those storms were not tornadic, but I just wanted to mention those. It looks like we're talking about some significant reports out there. But also as well, the broad scheme of things, again, most of us in Kentucky and here in Louisville are noticing just rainfall right now. We're mainly concerned about these severe tornado-warned storms that are moving across much of eastern Kentuckiana right now. Along with the risk for a tornado, we are watching the potential for 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts, which can also produce, straight-line wind gust damage. So you can't rule that out. But we also are tracking, looks like hail up to about quarter size, and we're also watching the potential for a tornado or two. With these two tornado warnings that we are tracking this morning as they're making their way to the east and northeast around 50 to 60 miles an hour. Again, the main counties that are going to be in this warning down to the south towards Lebanon and Springfield mainly do include, we're talking about southwestern Washington County and northwestern Marion County. And the tornado warned storm up to the north, that is more for Washington County. Again, we're mainly going to be concerned about areas just to the east of Kentuckiana this morning. It does include Spencer, Nelson, Anderson, and Washington counties. Both of these storms are making their way to the northeast around 50 to 60 miles an hour this morning. And again, there is not a confirmed tornado reported. They're both radar indicated tornadoes, which means that radar is identifying that we have circulation within this thunderstorm that might be producing a tornado or two. So there might be a tornado ongoing right now. We just don't know quite yet. So you need to be treating it seriously. And as we take a closer look at where there might be circulation within these two tornado-warned storms.
Yeah, Sam, I want you to look at Springfield because the National Weather Service is considering updating a warning for that area. So I want us to like go, yep, okay, there it is. We are starting to see circulation form right over Springfield. So it looks like that other tornado warning is a little bit weaker. So Springfield, you need to get into your safe place right now. You have rotation right over you. It is radar indicated, but these storms have that capability of recycling really quick right now. So really I want to focus on is the Springfield location. Looking at the rotation for this tornado warning, not as significant. It showed signs of weakening, and a lot of that energy is right over Springfield right now. So I want you to go ahead, text your friends, head indoors, make sure your neighbors as well are aware of this tornado warning. We are starting to see it show signs of strengthening with recent scans. So that is just out of that tornado warning, but I'm anticipating them to update a new warning that will then include possibly south of Willisburg, heading to the northeast. So regardless if there's a warning over it right now, let's go ahead and put a track on that system. And let's say it's moving around 40 miles per hour, which is what it was estimated before as it moves off to the northeast. Heavy downpours with that system as well. So that is right over a highway 150. So this storm is moving off to the northeast. These are the communities that are in the path of that storm. Rhinetown. Okay, looks like they issued a severe thunderstorm warning instead of a tornado warning. So that's good news, as they were thinking that it's not significant enough to issue a tornado warning, but it could possibly spin up and it has that potential. So here's that track on that system. Perryville, Rhinetown, Harrisburg, and Marcellus are now in the path of this potential severe storm that is potentially producing a tornado.
And let me mention here, Colleen, along with those communities and those cities, just keep in mind the counties are Boyle, Marion, Mercer, and Washington. Okay. Those are the counties we're talking about here. So it is getting into extreme eastern Kentucky, Anna, and it's only a matter of time before it does march out of our viewing area. But of course, family, friends that do live to the east of us need to be on the lookout for this very serious storm.
Yeah, so we are tracking this severe thunderstorm warning. It looks like the warning over in Bardstown, it has weakened. We are not seeing any significant signs of rotation. So Bardstown, you're in the clear. Taylorsville, Hodgenville, Lebanon, you are really in the clear. Really the area that we are watching is right over Rhinetown right now. Actually, they canceled it. Okay, cool. They canceled that tornado warning. You see that red popped away? And now we have a bunch of severe thunderstorm warnings. So it is showing signs of weakening, which is good news, as the National Weather Service is now transitioning from tornado potential to severe weather potential, meaning it's not showing signs of producing tornadoes at the moment, but it sure has that potential. So I'm going to go ahead and just put a line on that system moving to the northeast at 55 miles per hour. So it will eventually head out of our way here shortly. But these line of strong to severe storms have that potential of producing some possible areas of circulation really quickly. But right now, we are not seeing any specific area besides Springfield of possibly producing a tornado. So the National Weather Service now has issued severe thunderstorm warnings across this area. So if you live in Greensburg, Lebanon, Hardinsburg especially, you are in the path of some strong storms that can produce damaging winds. And it doesn't have to be a tornado to produce damage. Damaging winds can cause a lot of damage, especially when there's heavy rain. It can cause trees to topple over, especially if you live in an area that's surrounded by a lot of trees. So Lebanon, Greensburg, you are in the path of these strong to severe storms. You are not under a tornado warning. It's a severe thunderstorm warning. Really, the only tornado warning that's still in effect is for this area, and I think the National Weather Service is just going to let that one expire. So let's go ahead and take that track off, and then let's find any spots of rotation. If we can turn it over to velocity, where this tornado warning still is in effect. And did they just cancel it? Oh no, the red just disappeared on the red. I'm not seeing any areas of circulation in this area. So Taylorsville, Salvisa, Lawrenceburg, Williamsburg, not seeing any rotation over you right now or heading your way. But south of Williamsburg, if we can get a little bit farther south over Springfield, that is really that spot, seeing some broad rotation. Not enough to issue a tornado warning, but a severe thunderstorm warning has been issued for this spot here. So Harrisburg, that is heading right towards you. That's out of our area, But just a heads up, if you have any family over there, or if you travel 68, or if you're traveling to Lexington, Danville, this is a potential to recirculate and possibly produce a tornado. But right now, it doesn't appear like it is. It has broad circulation, some heavy downpours, and some strong winds. So if we can go ahead and take a little bit of a wider view of that one, Sam, and put a track just on that one area that's potentially seeing circulation. I would say it's moving to the northeast around 45 miles per hour with that one possible area over Springfield.
Oh, pardon me.
Oh, you're good.
Redraw this.
There's a lot going on this morning. We have been tracking severe thunderstorm warnings since 4 a.m. These are the first few tornado warnings. Yeah, that's good. All right, over to Stewart, Bergen School. These are the areas that are possibly in the path of a storm that is capable of potentially producing a tornado. Right now, there is no tornado warning in effect. You are under a severe thunderstorm warning. This tornado warning not producing any circulation out there, they're going to go ahead and let that expire. So if you live east of Springfield, heading towards Stewart, head into your safe place. You have a strong storm heading your way that could recycle, could produce some circulation, but really just concerned with the strong winds with that system and the heavy rain. So we're going to be on, we'll probably be on air for about 2 more minutes, and then we're going to return you to your regularly scheduled programming because as of right now, Sam, the tornado threat is minimal. So farther to the south, let's go ahead and see if we can see any other spots that are producing. So this is a large area of severe thunderstorm. So a severe thunderstorm warning is in effect for Greensburg. This includes Campbellsville. You are not under a tornado warning, you're under severe thunderstorm warning, meaning you could see some strong winds, you could see some heavy downpours, and there's a potential of some possible spots in that line to recycle and produce a tornado. If that happens, we're going to update you if a tornado warning is issued. But as of right now, just tracking a line of strong to severe storms heading your way, not seeing any signs of a tornado potential right now, but that can change here throughout the morning. And if we have our directors in the studio, Sam, we're going to do a wide view, and then we're going to return them back to regular scheduled programming.
Let me
in just about a few minutes.
Yeah, we have a couple of reports here as well, Colleen. I just want to
Okay.
mention those that live in Logan County. These storms are very significant. Epley Station recorded wind damage to a house and a grain bin destroyed. That report came in a couple of minutes ago. And we also did have a decent report as well of roof damage to Ben Johnson Elementary School gym in Breckinridge County as well.
Okay, so we have damage reports. Breckinridge County, that would have been from the storms earlier off to the west, but it looks like they have 3 to 4 inches of water in their school. I'm not sure if that's a gymnasium or some spot, but okay, so we have a new tornado warning that has been issued as well. Okay, so there is a new tornado warning issued. So we're going to continue to see, stay on air this morning, seeing signs of another backside tornado forming in central Washington County. Okay, so guys, bear with us. We have a new tornado warning. These line of storms have that potential to recycle. I'm going to let Sam go ahead and walk you through that tornado warning while I update myself.
Yeah, in the bottom right corner of your screen just a little bit ago was actually our storm chaser, John Humphreys. He's chasing these storms as they make their way to the east right now. We'll be cutting in with more information from what he's gathering as we go about the remainder of the morning or so. But we do have a new warning, obviously, that has come in over the past few minutes or so. This is for, looks like this is for the counties of Boyle, Garrard, Jasmine, Mercer, Washington, and Woodford, Kentucky, which is actually staying well to our east of Kentuckiana. So it's the far eastern corner of Kentuckiana here. It looks like we're towards Washington County, Springfield, Harrodsburg. That's where we're watching the pretty significant storms right now again. So Harrodsburg, if you live in that area, if not just to the west of Harrodsburg, that's where the situation is getting pretty serious right now as we kind of take a closer look at the velocity with this system and gives you more of an idea of where that circulation is within this severe thunderstorm to tornadic thunderstorm. We're looking at more Springfield, Willisburg or so, and that's another, shows you where we're dealing with that rotation that is ongoing right now, mainly for extreme eastern areas of Kentuckiana and Washington County, and getting awfully close to Harrodsburg as we speak. So if you live in Harrisburg right now, you have a little bit of time to get to the lowest level of your home as we speak, as this tornado warned storm is trekking to the east to northeast around 50 to 60 miles an hour or so. The area highlighted in that circled red color, that's the area of concern for rotation within this storm, and it does go until 9:15 this morning. We're also talking about very strong wind gusts with this storm as it's organizing its way well off to the east in Washington County, and it'll make its way into Harrodsburg very soon, if not Nicholasville and eventually Wilmore. So again, this is basically heading the far eastern limits of Kentuckiana, but it's only going to be a matter of time before it makes its way towards friends or family that do live to our east right now. It's a pretty serious situation for those of you that live in communities such as Perryville, Harrodsburg again, Danville, Bryantsville. Basically, all these tornadic storms are going to make their way into your area over the next half an hour to about 45 minutes or so. And it's really coming at a really good clip. These storms are organizing and shifting to the east and northeast around 50 to 60 miles an hour. We're also talking about very heavy rainfall with these tornado-warned storms as they make their way to the east. And unless Colleen saw a new report, we're looking at more radar-indicated tornado-warned storms, no actual, it looks like, type of observation for an actual tornado. We're talking more about radar-indicated, but you still need to be taking it very seriously as these storms trek their way to the east and northeast rather quickly this morning. Here's a couple more communities.
That warning, Sam.
What's that?
They issued it, and I think they might have just canceled it at 8:50 this morning, but it looks like it's still in effect, so maybe that's just a wrong statement that I'm reading there on the National Weather site, because it looks like that tornado warning is indeed still in effect. But so we're going to continue to stay on air until that leaves, and in fact it's about to leave our viewing area, but right now just off to the east of Springfield is where that potential tornado is. Yeah,
exactly. And even if it is canceled per se, these storms are very, very serious. It's just something to want to monitor and stay inside, seek shelter as best you can as this very serious line of storms continues to trek its way to the north and east. And there's actually another severe thunderstorm warning to the south. That's more towards Danville, towards Gravel Switch, Lebanon as well. Campbellsville, you're included in that severe thunderstorm warning as these storms continue to march their way to the east and northeast between basically about 40 to 50 miles an hour, if not quicker in some instances. There's the severe thunderstorm warning we're watching. You can see where the greens and the reds kind of converge right there. That's where we're getting extremely strong wind gusts on the leading edge of the system. So we're talking more about straight line wind gusts down there, not quite a tornado signature, but this is something to take very seriously. And once you see that little bow right there in the line, that's where we could deal with a brief spin-up tornado as the strong wind gusts are going to be moving away from the radar. Also, with the wind gusts moving towards the radar, that's where you get the very strong signature of that red and green on our base velocity that we're showing you. Here's a couple more communities that are involved in that severe thunderstorm warning down to the south. It looks like towards Dunville, Yuma, Greensburg as well. These storms are continuing to trek their way to the east ever so quickly this morning at a rapid pace between 50 to 60 miles an hour. So again, we have numerous alerts that are in effect. One tornado warning that's more towards Washington County and points east of there, just south of Lexington per se. And we also do have more warnings down to the south of there included. Frequent lightning too. Take a look at some of these cells to the north. We're getting a lot of lightning reports out of Newcastle. Don't be fooled, because that's another risk. Lightning, of course, is something very serious when these storms roll through. So just ride these out, stay inside, and if you do have friends or family in Frankfort towards Lexington, you have a little bit of time to get that car in the garage, maybe the Adirondack furniture brought inside quickly before things really get serious with the strong wind gusts. But there's the tornado warning we're watching right now over Washington County. Get to the lowest level of your home. If as we speak here, if you live in Nicholasville, maybe towards Harrodsburg, you have a couple of minutes to get to the lowest level of your home before we are tracking that chance for a tornado to pop up or so. I really think that the best chance for a little bit of a tornado could be spinning up just to the east of Springfield, south of Williamsburg, marching towards U.S. Highway 127 into Harrodsburg very soon, and mainly just to the north of Perryville. That's where that debris signature is possible with this tornado right now. So it's something we're watching very closely, and it looks like we're also trying to get a little bit of a signature towards Willisburg, but I really think the main bulk of that activity where there could be a potential tornado is staying just to the north of U.S. Highway 150 and just to the south of Mackville. So if you normally do take U.S. Highway 150 at this time of the day for your commute, maybe to work, I would suggest staying inside, taking it easy for a little bit, and riding this out. Make sure you seek shelter, get away from windows, get to the lowest level of your home, and don't take any risks in this kind of activity.
Sam, it looks like good news that it's out of our area. It showed signs of weakening. So right now, we are not under a tornado threat. That has just left Springfield and the communities south of Willisburg. So we're going to go ahead and just walk you through a wide view of the storms and return you back to your regular scheduled programming, because right now so we're going to go ahead and take you on a tour around the radar. Right now, we are tracking some strong to severe storms. It looks like it's just about to exit off to the southeast. So Campbellsville, Greensburg, hold on tight. You are not under a tornado warning, but you are under a severe thunderstorm warning. Producing some strong damaging wind is possible. So right now here across the metro area, Sam, it's pretty quiet. Off to the east, Shelbyville, Frankfort, seeing those strong to severe storms off to the southeast.
We're going to stay with you a couple more minutes, probably another 2 to 3 minutes, to just give you further updates right before we let you go back to regular scheduled programming. But yeah, this is what we have in our picture right now. Of course, some severe thunderstorm warnings down to the south towards Campbellsville, Columbia, you name it. Those storms are producing about quarter-size hail and wind gusts up to about 60 miles an hour or so. And I really think as the storms organize, they might be producing 70-mile-an-hour wind gusts. We'll be keeping you posted on the damage reports through the morning. But there's that tornado warning still in effect for far eastern Washington County. It is making its way out of Kentuckiana, which is just what we like to see. And we're still continuing to have the severe thunderstorm watch that is in effect for all these counties in that lighter yellow shaded area. And there's actually beginning to be some flood advisories that are in effect for Metro Louisville and points west. Here's how things are going to be timing out. And Futurecast, keep in mind, is not perfect, but it's trying its best with the track of the storms. We're going to be continuing to see chances for more storms here, mainly along and southeast of the Parkway system across Kentuckiana. So if you live down towards Bardstown, E-Town, Campbellsville, Lexington, Frankfort, and points south of there, something to be monitoring for the remainder of the day today. These are the bottom line and points that you need to be knowing. The storms are going to be affecting us through about 1 o'clock this afternoon. A couple more might be turning tornadic and could be producing wind gusts up to 60 miles an hour. And we could be talking about some isolated flooding in some areas, as we could be seeing some localized flooding across much of the area. We're going to be sending you back to regular scheduled programming. Thank you for tuning in. We'll be keeping you posted all day long on the severe weather. You too.